Welcome to Mindset Monday, Agent Power Huddle. I'm Jesse Zagorski, and I've got a guest host here, Jim Godwin from Kansas City. Jim.
Good morning.
And so this morning, Jim and I were talking, and I was like, Jim, all right, it's Mindset Monday. What do you want to cover? And he said, how about we go over doing the things that you need to do in real estate, even when you don't want to? And I was like, oh, that's good. Jim has been on this journey doing this 30-day live video challenge, and we're going to kind of use that to start off. So Jim, first of all, are you always like sunshine and roses? Do you always want to do everything you want to do? Or is there any time in your life when you're like, I don't know if I really want to do some of these things?
Oh man, like every day.
So you are a normal human being.
Oh my God, yeah. Like.
And even if he's a lazy man, and the dude was most certainly that.
The thought of going live on Facebook every day and telling everyone about the deep, dark secrets of my life was terrifying.
Oh no, I'm not brave enough for politics.
So give us a context. Yeah, how long have you been in real estate, first of all, people who don't know you?
This is my 17th year.
So 17 years in. Guys, if you don't know Jim, I mean, he's an incredible human being. He sells a lot of homes in Kansas City. Why are you doing a 30-day live video challenge? Where did this come from?
It's something that I've been contemplating doing for a long time, but never summed up enough courage to actually be able to do it. I decided to follow my own advice. Mood follows action and not the other way around. Very rarely do you do something and try to change your mood first and then be able to create the action afterwards. The step has to be made first. The jumping off a cliff almost always has to happen first. And then after the fact, your state of being changes, your mindset changes because of the action you took. And I think a lot of people live in the world of, I'm going to change my mind first. I'm going to do something to change my mindset, and then I'm going to do an action based on changing my mindset. It's very, very difficult to do.
And it's not easy.
It sounds like backwards.
It is, but that's how we all live mostly, is that I'm going to try to change my current mindset, my current state of being. And then when I'm done with that, I'm going to do the thing that I don't want to do.
Let's break that down though. Let's use again this example, this 30-day live video challenge. If you're not feeling in the mood, if you wake up and you're just feeling blah, you don't want to go on camera, you're feeling uncomfortable, how do you get yourself to do the action if the mood isn't there?
A couple different things. One of the most important aspects of this challenge, and why in the beginning at least I've been able to do it every day, even when I don't want to, is because I committed to it and I gave my word. So if I am to be someone that is of integrity and somebody that is a person of my word, I am being held accountable by like 50 other people. When you're making a commitment like this, one of the things that you can do to make sure that you follow through, even when you don't want to, is to let everyone in your sphere know that what you just committed to. That way, every single person, whether they're in a challenge or a friend or a family member or whoever, they know that you're committed to this and they're going to hold your feet to the fire.
And even if they don't directly, like even if they're not reaching out to you on a daily basis, I feel like just knowing that it's out there, you internally know like, okay, like I got to do this.
Yeah. You know that they know that you committed to something, and you don't want to be the type of person that lets them down, or that you know that you're not a person of integrity. So that's one of the main things. And then the second thing would be accepting the fact that you don't want to do it and leading with that when you're doing the thing. The times that I didn't want to go on Facebook Live the most,
I can't even tell you guys how much I did not want to get out of bed this morning. I was so tired. And the last thing I wanted to do was get up and go to the gym and start my day.
So what did that do for you when you acknowledged it like that?
It gets my hesitation completely out of the picture. Because in the back of my mind, the whole time that I'm doing the thing, the whole time that I'm speaking and recording and doing the video, in the back of my mind is going to be like, oh my God, I don't want to be here. If I let everyone know first that I don't want to be here, that pressure is gone. I think people are craving realness in life. And I think that relatability is the biggest selling factor. When you create relatability like that, when you're on the phone with somebody, maybe not say it in the beginning, but once you get past the initial phase of talking to somebody, because this would work really well when you're contacting your sphere, when you're contacting past clients, when you're contacting anyone in your sphere, maybe not like a complete cold call, but people that know you, people that have done business with you. And you say, how are you doing? And they tell you, and then they ask you that in return.
Hey, how you doing?
Maybe this is something that you can integrate into that. Well, honestly, I'm not feeling that great today. It was really hard for me to pick up this phone call, but I'm so glad that I did, because I'm really enjoying this conversation.
Oh, I love that. It's so authentic. All right. Do you do all three of these consciously? Is this something that like just happens, or did you have to learn it and practice it and now it became normal? How does this work for you?
These are things that I'm constantly learning and practicing myself. To work these things, it does become more of who I am as a person as time goes on, but I have to remind myself that this is who I am all the time.
How do you remind yourself of that?
When I'm hesitating to do something, now it's a reminder. Oh, This is you being that other person. This is you falling into that person that you were. Now it's time to get into the person that you are.
Oh, I love that. So how far are you through this 30-day challenge so far?
Today's is the 22nd day.
Oh, wow. We're pretty deep into it. And any other learning lessons that have come up for you? Because first of all, I imagine like the consistency of doing it every day is also something that's probably a little different or might have prompted some learning lessons.
Yeah. Knowing that you have to get on every single day, no matter what your life circumstances are, and do this thing. At first I was like, how am I going to talk for 3 minutes straight? I couldn't imagine even being able to communicate for that long without interaction. Like it was just me by myself talking live to the world or whoever is watching this thing with no interaction. I'm like, how am I going to fill 3 minutes? Because that was like the goal of the challenge, is to be on for at least 3 minutes. I'm like, I can't do that. I can't fill 3 minutes. That was more challenging. That was like,
why isn't it possible? It's just not. Why not, you stupid bastard?
More terrifying to me than actually doing it. Like, I just want to get on and be done in 30 seconds. Like I could do that. But to be on and talk for 3 minutes straight, I was terrified. And then I think on day 15, I did an Ask Me Anything and I was on for 37 minutes.
Wow. Sean is asking, what are some examples of things you get on and talk about? What are you doing to fill the 3 minutes?
Done a lot of things. Like the point of this challenge is a couple different things. One is to get comfortable and, be on camera and be who you are. But one of the big reasons why we're doing this is to present yourself to what now I'm calling like being the mayor of your sphere. Like what is a mayor? Mayor is a leader. A mayor is somebody that people come to for answers, that knows the area, that knows everything about the city.
Mr. Mayor, this is Stan Ramsey from the budget office. He was recently diagnosed with cancer.
God, I'm sorry, Stan. What kind?
Lung. I don't even smoke.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be the mayor of my sphere so that when people think of Kansas City real estate, they think of Jim. We're talking about everything from the local market here to I've been to like 4 different places and interviewed business owners on the fly. We talked about me personally, what my habits are, what my passions are, what my real estate career has been like, the trajectory of it. So it's basically everything about my life and about real estate as I know it in my experience over the past 17 years.
And I love that distinction, by the way. I've heard people say before the mayor of your town, but I like that it's the mayor of your sphere, because it's really trying to develop this link within, it's not everyone in Kansas City, it's not your audience, it's within your sphere. When you first started to do this, did you enjoy the first couple Facebook Lives?
I absolutely hated it. Absolutely hated it. For the first week, I hated it. The first day that I went on, all we had to do was get on and say, hey, I'm doing a challenge for the next 30 days. I can't wait to engage with you guys and have you learn about my life. It was like the simplest thing possible. I literally paced in my house back and forth for like hours. I didn't get anything done that day. I was terrified to go on and just tell people that I was coming on to do a thing. It was ridiculous.
I'm sure some people who are watching are like, I could go Facebook Live. It doesn't matter what your thing is, right? For Jim, it was this commitment, like this, fill in the blank with whatever the thing is in your real estate business that you want to be doing.
I've been on stage in my underwear, okay? In front of 1,000 people. That was okay. Getting on Facebook Live.
Violence or, sound like I'm promoting violence. I think that, it's more or less because...
Can we clarify for everyone why you were on stage in your underwear?
I used to compete professionally as a fitness model.
There's a Magic Mike sequel out in the theaters right now. I saw last night. I was taking my kid. Anyway, just want to make sure we're clear on. Anyway, all right. So
yeah, I was not a stripper.
I think it's really interesting, Jim. You started out terrified, paced in your house for a couple hours before you did the first one. We're 22 days in. How do you feel about them now?
It's like any habit that you create over time. It becomes easier and easier and easier as time goes on. And this, for me, has actually become fun. I enjoy doing it now. I like getting on. All of my deep, dark secrets are now out there, right? I told everyone about my past. I told everyone about the things that I wouldn't even tell family members 10 years ago. And now I'm able to communicate that because I think it's helpful for people.
What sort of response are you getting from these live videos? Are you getting people engaging, interactions, comments, DMs at this point? Is it producing any results?
I'm going to look at a 32-unit apartment complex from somebody that saw my videos that wants to list them.
Wow.
So on a business level, I'm getting new business. That's the third person that reached out that said that I want to either buy or sell. Getting new business from it, but also just the feedback of people saying, I love your message. I love what you do. This is very inspiring. I want to know how you can to do this myself. I want to incorporate this into my business. All the feedback has been incredibly positive and rewarding and fulfilling.
I love it. Oh, dude, I love it. You mentioned something a minute ago about habits. Are you familiar with the concept of habit stacking?
Sort of.
So habit stacking is a concept that I learned where you take something that's already established, a habit that you already do regularly, and you take the new thing you want to do and you basically stack it on top of the old one. You're already momentum on something you do consistently. So, right, most of us brush our teeth daily or twice a day, I would imagine. Most of it, right? That's a habit we've ingrained through years of the dentist inflicting pain and saying you better brush your teeth better. So if you want to do something new, you would put it at the end of brushing your teeth. You're a lot more consistent to do it because they're stacked on another habit. Did that play into this at all as you started to do these videos? Or is it really truly like you just do it when you can, whenever throughout the day? How does that factor in for you?
I can tell you that when I'm done recording a live video, my productivity increases afterwards because it's so enlivening to do that when I'm done, I want to continue that momentum. So no matter how I felt before that, no matter what state of being that I was in before that, which sometimes is tired and grumpy and not wanting to do it, and then afterwards, completely changed, completely different after 3 and 5 minutes of recording this stupid video. My entire emotional being changed, and now I want to ride that wave. Maybe subconsciously, I was like, now it's time to go do other things that I don't want to do.
Wow, that's awesome. So what do you think it is about? Is it the relief of being done? Is it the fact you've done something hard? What is it that changes your state that you can just ride that wave of energy for the next few hours?
Yeah, I think it's because you can tell yourself all day that you are courageous, but until you feel it, until you've discovered it for yourself, there's a difference between knowing what courage is and discovering what courage is for yourself. And that discovery of courage, the way that feels, it can't be taught. It has to be discovered for yourself. And in that discovery process, I think is when you feel a completely different way about yourself. Maybe have a conversation with somebody that you didn't want to have a conversation with because you were terrified of what they would say. This is really about relationships. I'm sure a lot of people out there, including myself, have to have hard conversations or what we perceive as hard conversations with other people in our life. And when we do things that we don't want to do like this and feel what courage actually feels like, you can then go out and start to have these difficult conversations. And maybe they don't seem as difficult anymore. Maybe they seem like it's something that you want to do. And then you're able to be a certain way with that person in the conversation so that they actually hear what you're saying. And this all revolves around taking an action, doing something that you don't want to do, and then feeling yourself on the other side of that.
I love it. It sounds so simple when you say it. I mean, I know it's not, but when you break it down like that, it's like, oh, it's just a simple 3 steps, right?
It's extremely simple and easy, but very difficult to actually get yourself to that point. I'm not saying go out and get on stage or record a video live. Do something small that's been nagging at you that you think doesn't affect you, but you know that it does. We all have those things that like we think in our minds, it's like this little thing nagging us in the back of our mind that we're like, oh, that doesn't matter. We'll put that off till tomorrow. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. All of those things add up and then they just drag us down. Pick one of those things. Pick one of those little tiny things that you think doesn't really matter or bother you all that much and complete it and see how much relief you get from it. And then recognize that that thing actually did affect me. Because if it didn't affect me, why do I feel so much better now?
It's not necessarily about going out and doing this one prospect thing, real estate, conference, whatever it is. It could be anything in your world that you're doing that once you do that, it changes your state that then puts you into the place where you can then go do all the other things you need to do.
Yeah, look, I mean, we're in a relationship business. That's what we do. We manage relationships. We don't sell real estate. That's like the tangible thing, but you don't sell real estate without relationships. You have to develop the relationship first, and then you get to the real estate. Create a small action today that you were afraid to do yesterday and see where that brings you tomorrow.
Oh, I love that. Dude, I miss doing these shows with you. This is fun.